Stephen Bradley here, Grizzly Functional Training, and today we're talking functional training at home. The great thing about functional training is that when you do it right, you can do it anywhere. The definition of functional is the quality of being able to serve a purpose practically. So functional training, quite literally, is training that will improve how you go about doing your everyday normal shit. Real quick though, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Look, so a lot of what people see when they think functional training is flipping tires and sled pushes. But if anything, functional training at home is a whole lot easier than that. Take some of the tasks you do around the house and let's see if we can incorporate that into our training. Let's take a simple task like hanging the washing out, all right? So you're carrying your washing out to the line. Now let's take that washing basket, pack it full of books and make that same walk 10 times without stopping. Once you're done, come back in and now let's take that same washing basket, hold it in nice and close and perform a set of 10 squats. Have a little rest, do that another 4 times. See how easy it is to apply both of those movements to your real life? How much easier would it be to go about your chores if they didn't make you tired? All right, so is HIIT functional training? HIIT standing for high intensity interval training. So high intensity interval training basically is performing short bursts of high intensity exercises with small rests in between. So HIIT isn't necessarily functional training, but it can be. In fact, there's already a thing called HIFT, high intensity functional training. So let's look at how we would go about doing that. So start off by using my best friend, where you are here right now, YouTube. I'll put a little link down later on in the description, but we're gonna open up a 30-second interval timer. So now let's take 2 functional movements we can take at home. Let's also take 2 buckets, fill them up with sand, dirt, a baby, whatever, just something heavy. And what we're gonna do first is for 30 seconds, we're gonna do farmer's carries. So we're gonna take the buckets in either hand and we're gonna walk, just walk at a nice brisk pace. Once the buzzer goes off, have a 30-second rest, and then now we're gonna move into the next interval. It's gonna be 30 seconds of deadlifts with our buckets. Do 10 rounds of that. Sit down, cry into your hands, have a drink, shake it off, and then get up and do another 10 rounds. Boom, functional training at home. High intensity functional training at home. All right, so what is TRX functional training? Let's look at what a TRX is first. A TRX is basically just a brand of a suspension trainer. Now, suspension trainers are great for using at home because all you need to do is hook it over your doorway and you can start performing all the movements you would do with them. Training at home, the trickiest part to get can be your back. When we think about what our body does, we're either pushing or we're pulling. And so when we're pulling, we're using a lot of those muscles in our back. Look, it can be done at home, but a suspension trainer makes that a whole lot easier. Typically, the way we would train our back without equipment would be with, say, a pull-up bar. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a pull-up bar in my dining room. So the TRX or any form of a suspension trainer is gonna let you replicate a whole lot of those movements. Not only that, you're gonna be able to build up to movements like a single leg squat or a pistol squat. The suspension trainer is gonna let you hold your balance as you come down and build up the strength and mobility in your leg and ankle. All right, next up, let's look at kettlebells. I am a big fan of kettlebells. Look, the difference between kettlebells and say a dumbbell or a barbell or any of those other weights is the kettlebell has the weight below the handle, which is changing the center of gravity, which is changing the dynamic of how you're doing the movements. It can take a little while to get used to that, but once you are used to how the bell and everything is moving, it's a great tool to bring into your training. Remembering that anytime you're having to rebalance or stabilize, you're using your core. A big reason why I like training with kettlebells. When I train, the movements I like to do, I like to make sure I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck, and I always look for a way to incorporate my core in any of the other sort of exercises I'm doing. Another reason I do like using kettlebells is the cardio dynamic that can come into a lot of the movements. A lot of the movements done with a kettlebell are swinging and moving, so you're getting your heart rate up at the same time. Again, like I said before, getting more bang for your buck. So there we have it. There's a few ways we can get in some functional training at home. Now look, I've given you a few different options in terms of equipment. Let's start with, say, a TRX or a suspension trainer. You can pick some of those up pretty cheap. I mean, the TRX brand it's a big brand, so you're paying more for that, but you can pick up replica suspension trainers online for about 20 bucks. Kettlebells tend to be a little bit more expensive, so it would pay to do a little bit of research, even try them out at the gym and find a weight that you can do a bigger variety of movements with. You don't want to just go get a nice big heavy one that you can only do 2 or 3 things with. You can also look into adjustable kettlebells. I've seen a few of these out there where you just slip out and slip back in little discs of weight. You can then get a lot more variety out of one piece of equipment, but kettlebells do tend to be a little bit more expensive. And then there's just going back to what I said at the very start, you can use a washing basket, you can use buckets, you can use a backpack. All of these things you can add stuff into, and all of these things nice and adjustable, and you can get a huge array of movements done with those. Alright, so that's that. There we have it, functional training at home. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.